What is up, Pacer Nation? Welcome to the Pacer Pulse Podcast, the heartbeat of Indiana basketball. And today, guys, we finally got our 10th win of the season. We are no longer the only team in the NBA that hasn't won 10 games. Yes, you heard that right. And we beat the Pelicans tonight, 127 to 119. And really, it was just like a classic all-around Pacer game effort from it took everybody to win this game, and nobody really had a bad game. And I want to give a big shout out to Jay Huff. He had a career night, 29 points, like 9 rebounds. He had a phenomenal night, guys. Like, it was unreal. He was just doing anything in this game. He had like a poster dunk on a Misi, I think, at one point. Then he had the classic reverse dunk. Just so many great plays from Huff, and maybe he's trying to silence all the haters that say he can't be a starting center. No, I don't know, guys. Like, we still need to figure that out, but really love Jay Huff on this team, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to just be recency bias here, but I really want to give him his flowers. He had a phenomenal game tonight. I mean, 29 is no joke, new career high, and I couldn't be any more happier for him. And also, Tony Bradley was amazing off the bench as a backup big. And that's what really the story of this game was like the big man rotation was phenomenal in this game. Probably the best game we've had from our starting center, or from our centers in this one. It was crazy to see. It was awesome to see. And then Nembhard had 10 assists. TJ McConnell had 10 assists. Like, we were just moving the ball like crazy. Siakam had 20 points in the first half. It was just all around great game, guys. And it was a great one. It was a good team win. And yeah, does it affect the tank a little bit? Yeah, I would say so. But you know what? I mean, we're still right there with Brooklyn, Washington, New Orleans, who their pick goes to Atlanta, and then Sacramento. It's kind of like us bunched up right there. So if we can kind of like put the brakes on a little bit, don't ruin our odds at a high pick, I think we'll be okay. But all in all, it's great to be the Pelicans and not be just like a complete bottom feeder. And another good thing I heard during the broadcast tonight, Chris and Quinn talked about it, that Benedict Mathurin will be coming back soon, which is awesome to hear. Just hopefully he's back and like fully healthy whenever he does come back, and it would be nice to see him back on the court again. I miss him being out there, miss his impact on this team, and just seeing him take those extra steps that we know he was taking before like all these injuries and whatnot. So very excited to see him back on the court. But the way I break these games down, guys, I go quarter by quarter, and I just see like I write down like notes throughout the game, and I just write down the good things I saw, the bad things, and I just kind of go through my notes. So to start this game, Nembhard, Nesmith, Furphy, Siakam, and Huff started the game. So that lineup's been working lately. We've been winning more games lately, and it's had more flow to it, I think, with this lineup. And makes a lot of sense to stick to that, especially until Mathurin comes back, and Furphy will probably be out of the lineup then. But I still think that Furphy's going to get a lot of minutes, even when Mathurin does come back, so I'm not worried about that, at least. But going into the first quarter here, Furphy kind of started off rough. He had like a rough off-the-dribble jump shot on somebody that's not really his forte. Let's just go ahead and say that. If you've watched Furphy, you know, like, he's not really an off-the-dribble shooter, so it was a little rough, but it's all right. He made up for it. But Siakam, he drives for a 2-point shot inside. Huff, he gets the offensive rebound and gets the putback. He was just all over it tonight, guys. And like 9 rebounds, too, for Jay Huff tonight. Phenomenal. Siakam, he hit a 3, and he was just cooking early in this game. Siakam, he had a strong drive and finish and gets the M1. Siakam had like early 8 points in the first quarter alone. And then Huff, he gets a steal, and Furphy gets the ball and takes it on the fast break. And then he has a pass at Jay Huff. It was an alley-oop pass for an alley-oop finish. It was just another beautiful play by Furphy. Great finish by Jay Huff, but just highlighting some of Furphy's improvements, especially as like a passer. It's just not really an aspect that you really thought he really was that great at. But I think he kind of continues to show that more and more, where he's a better passer than maybe I realized or gave him credit for. Maybe it's just me. But just great little plays I love seeing from Furphy. And then Siakam had a 3. Furphy had a strong off-the-dribble drive for finish, so he's starting to really show a lot more off the dribble, and he was just being a lot more aggressive this game. He was being more confident, you could tell, in his shot and his drives. He has a few plays here and there, of course, because he's still young, but all in all, like what I saw. Huff had a nice drive and spin move and finishes with like a little teardrop, but that was a beautiful move. And the offense was just looking amazing early on, guys. And then Zion, he was cooking us pretty early on. I mean, he had a good game, but ultimately it didn't matter. But he was kind of killing us early on. And Siakam, he had a drive and finish. And Furphy, he had a drive. He was just driving and looking aggressive, like I said earlier. And even if they wasn't always converting on those makes and whatnot, it was just encouraging to see him be aggressive in that way and try to expand his game. So you love what you see from Furphy, even if there's going to be some rough stretches. It's all about the process. And then Nesmith, he hit a corner three, and the defense was really struggling early on. Really both sides, like no defense was being played really early on. And then Shepherd hit a three, and then Walker hits a three at the end of the shot clock to pretty much end the first quarter. So going after the end of the first quarter, we were down 31-33. And we were shooting 41% from the field, 39 from three. The Pelicans were shooting 64% from the field, 57 from three. So astronomically good shooting by the Pelicans. And then the assists, we had 10 assists, they had 8. Rebounds, we had 9, they had 10. Offensive rebounds, we had 4, and they had 1, so we were actually leading that. And then turnovers, we had 0, they had 2. Points off turnovers, we had 2, they had 0. Bench points were 7-6, we had 7. And points in the paint, we had 14, we had 8. We had 14, they had 18. And Nesmith, he had like 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist after the first quarter. He played the most minutes in the first quarter. Nembhard just had 2 assists. Furphy, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Siakam, 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Huff, 6 points, 2 rebounds, a steal. Shepherd, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Walker, 3 points, 1 assist. Bradley, 3 rebounds. He was all over the glass tonight too, guys. This a great game by Tony Bradley. I want to shout him out too. So going into the second quarter, Nembhard, he was struggling early on. Like offensively, he wasn't really doing much at all. And then Huff, he finishes with a nasty poster dunk, like I said on Yves Missi earlier, was just a nasty dunk. And I think somebody brought it up that, like, what if Jay Huff was in the dunk contest? And I would be all for it, guys. I mean, with how bad the dunk contest has been lately, like, put Jay Huff in there. He's going to add some excitement to it. I believe in that. But Walker, he had an alley-oop pass to Quentin Jackson for a dunk. Something I want to highlight from Jarris Walker tonight, guys. His passing was just on point in this game. Like, he had so many like nice lob passes, like Jay Huff to this, and I think he had like 2 passes to Jay Huff that were like that, and then to Quentin Jackson for that alley-oop dunk. Just very poised passes and decision making by Walker, and it was really awesome to see. Like his stats don't jump off the box score, like if you look, but he had a pretty good game tonight. And then Quentin Jackson gets his own rebound and hits the layup, so he followed up his own rebound, got the offensive rebound. Then Siakam finishes in the post. Quentin Jackson had a nice step-through finish at the rim. And then neither team was just playing defense. I think they were just getting anything they wanted, both teams. It was pretty rough early on. And then Siakam passes out of a shot to Huff inside, who hits the reverse layup. He had several of those kind of passes tonight where he just kind of acted like he was going to shoot it, dumps it off to Jay Huff, who finishes inside. Like, just he was finishing and everything tonight. And then Huff, he hit the 3. And he had like 13 points with like 7 minutes left in the second quarter. So he was really on it tonight. Like I said, career high 29. Siakam, he hits a mid-range shot in Dairy Queen's face. I do think his nickname should be Dairy Queen. I'm sure it's already been said, but he needs to like get a sponsorship with Dairy Queen and be their spokesperson. And then not making fun of him. I just think it's too much of a play on. And then TJ passes to Johnny Furphy for a fast break dunk. And then Nesmith hits a 3. Huff tips in a Siakam miss. He just one hand tipped in, dunks it. And Siakam hit a deep 3. He had 20 points in the first half. He was really on fire in this game early, too. Him and, like, Jay Huff were leading us pretty much on offense. Then TJ hits Furphy for a corner 3. But then the Pelicans went on, like, a 10-0 run. And they were down, like, 6 at one point. Then they went on a 13-0 run. They hit a 3 soon after that to go down 6. And this is, like, the point in the game when they talked about Mathurin coming back soon, which is awesome to hear. And then Nesmith had a drive and finish. Furphy had solid defense on Fears to force a miss. I love highlighting several different plays that Furphy does because it is his first run fully with the team. So just seeing like the growth that we've already seen. I've been loving every moment of it. I love the Furphy minutes. I hope they don't go away when Mathurin does come back. Somebody's going to lose minutes, guys. It's probably going to be Quentin Jackson, and he's been playing awesome lately too. Like, I was about to say that early on, too. I forgot to mention him, but he's been playing awesome lately, too. So it's going to be tough. Somebody's going to lose minutes. And then Nembhard, he hits the 3 for those first points of the half, so he didn't score till, like, the end of the second quarter. Then Nembhard, he had a drive and finish before the end of the first half, so he kind of at least hit a couple shots before the quarter was over. So going into halftime, we were up 73-66. So we really put it on the second quarter. We had like 42 points in the second quarter, and that really helped win us the game. We outscored them by like 9 in that quarter, and it was just enough. But the Pelicans, they shot 60% from the field, 56% from three. We were shooting 55% from the field, 50% from three. So pretty even. Both teams are shooting pretty lights out. Assists, we had 22, they had 16. We had 21 rebounds, so there's 17. So winning that battle, we had 6 offensive rebounds, so they're 2. And then turnovers, we had 2. They had 5 turnovers. Points off turnovers, we had 6. They had 2. And bench points, we had 15. They had 12. And then points in the paint, we had 36 into their 30. So we were at least leading in that front, and we did all game, which is another big reason why we won this game. We finally won the points in the paint battle, which is usually pretty rare on our parts. And then Nesmith, he had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and assists, a steal. Nembhard had 5 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists. Furphy, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Siakam, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Huff, 18 points, 7 rebounds, and assists, steal, and block. Just him and Siakam both were going off. Jarrett's 3 points, 2 assists. TJ McConnell didn't even have any points, but he had 7 assists. He was all over it tonight with the passing. And Shepherd, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Tony Bradley, 4 rebounds. Quentin Jackson, 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. So going into the third quarter, guys, Siakam had a nice over-the-top pass to Huff for 2. Like I said, he had several of those passes tonight that were just on key, like on point. And I'm surprised it's not something we see more often, but it was just great decision-making by Siakam. It's great passing. So you love to see it. And then Siakam, he had back-to-back assists. He hit Nembhard soon after that for a 3-point shot. And then Huff, he had a tip-in dunk. That's the one I mentioned. I thought he had that earlier, but that was now, where he had the one-handed tip-in dunk in the third quarter. Just a nasty putback. Huff, he gets the block soon, right after that play. And then Nesmith breaks up an alley-oop. Just a tremendous defensive play by Nesmith. He always has those about every game, where he just hustles back and breaks up a potential game-changing momentum type of play. Just beautiful defense. Huff, he had a nice Euro step into a reverse dunk. Just continues to impress me with how much he can do off the dribble sometimes. And the fact that teams have a hard time guarding it at times. It's just so impressive from Huff. It's funny to see. And then he had a new career high. Even at this point, he had 24 points in the third quarter. And then Nembhard, he had a drive and finish for 2. TJ hits a tough baseline mid-range shot. Furphy gets a steal. And then Buddy throws a bad turnover. But it was a nice steal, but followed it up. He just didn't know what to do on the fast break. We had a 3-on-2 fast break, and he tried passing it, which he should have just went up with it. But all in all, I love the steal. It's just he's got to clean up that part, make a decision, just take it himself. And then Walker, he hits an off-the-dribble 3. TJ hits the mid-range shot. Then Nesmith had a drive and finish. Nesmith drives and gets the and-1 and misses a free throw. So then, sorry, I had to flip through my notes. Then Bradley gets an offensive rebound and has a putback for 2. Then TJ hits a nice fadeaway midi. And then going into the fourth quarter, guys, Huff hits the 3. He has 27 points at this point, just really carrying his hot scoring throughout the entire game. Siakam hasn't scored in the second half, which was super surprising because he was on fire in the first half. He had 20 points in the first half alone. So I didn't even realize throughout the whole third quarter that he hadn't scored. So, but we had so many other guys going, it didn't matter, but I was surprised by that. Then Walker, he hit a lob inside to Huff, who hits the alley-oop. Beautiful pass from Walker. Like I said, he had quite a few of those today that were just awesome. And then Siakam, he blocked a Sadiq Bey corner 3. That was just a beautiful defensive play. And Nembhard, he had a drive and takes contact and hits the and-1. Nembhard really started hitting some clutch shots here in the fourth quarter to help steal this win too. Then Nembhard hit a nice mid-range shot. Bradley, he had an offensive rebound pass to Nembhard for a mid-range shot. And Bradley was all over the boards in this quarter too. He got several offensive rebounds that were crucial boards. So I really want to give him props for that. He showed up tonight. Siakam hits a 3, gets his first bucket of the half. And that was midway into the fourth quarter, I think. And then Furphy had a great defensive play on Trey Murphy III, who we know is an elite scorer. So just a great defensive play where he just held his own. Awesome to see. And Tony Bradley, like I said, was all over the boards, just getting bored after offensive rebound off offensive rebound. And then Siakam, he has a spin and gets the M1. This was towards the end of the game. to kind of help seal the win. And then Bradley had another offensive rebound, passes to Siakam for a layup, and that was just kind of all she wrote, guys. So like I said, we won 127 to 119. And we outscored the Pelicans, or no, they outscored us, like I said, 33 to 31 in the first quarter. And then we outscored them 42 to 33 in the second. So that really determined the rest of the game. Like, we really put it on in that second quarter. The third quarter, we outscored the Pelicans 29-27. And then fourth quarter, they outscore us 26 to 25. But like I said, that second quarter was just enough of a difference to seal the win. And then the team stats, we shot 52% from the field in this game, which is phenomenal, and 36 from three. I mean, our shooting, it's just crazy how bad we shot, like, for the majority of the year, for, like, the longest time. Just awful shooting, and just the fact that we are starting to turn that around is awesome to see. And then the Pelicans shot 50% from the field, 42 from three, so the fact they still shot that well and we still won, it's pretty, like, incredible. And we finished this game with 38 assists, guys. Like I said, Nembhard had 10 assists, and TJ did. They both our point guards, which how often do you ever see that in the NBA? You don't. So, just like imagine when we do get Tyrese back, we already know how all three of those guys are together, but like this year, like Nembhard getting that extra growth of like learning how to play point guard fully, and it's going to be beneficial for him and the rest of the team too, but just awesome to see. Like, this was like classic old school Pacer basketball, like everybody's getting the ball, and we didn't see that last game against the Raptors, so it was nice to get back to that. Rebounds, it was pretty even. We had 43, they had 42. Offensive rebounds, we had 13, they had 8. And then we had 7 turnovers to their 9. So both teams really took care of the ball, actually. And points off turnovers, we had 8, they had 6. Bench points, we had 33, they had 20. And then points in the paint, we won this for like the first time in I don't even know how long. We scored 66 points in the paint, guys. They had 54. So awesome to see that we won that battle, which rarely ever happens. So we can just continue to like build on that, like easy buckets, guys. That's usually what happens and that usually is how teams win games too. I know threes are all where it's at, and that can really help win a lot of games where there's too many times where you can be ice cold from three, and then if you're not scoring inside, I mean, you're done. So to end this game, Nesmith, he had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Nembhard, 19 points, 3 assists, 10 assists, or 19 points, 3 rebounds, 10 assists, excuse me. Just an awesome double-double. Furphy, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, steal and a block. Siakam, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a block. Just another phenomenal game. I know he didn't score a lot in that second half, but he scored a lot when it mattered the most, especially in the fourth. And that's all you want from your star player. Huff. Oh, I got it wrong. I guess he finished with 32 points, if I'm not mistaken. It says he has 32 here. Let me double check, but I thought he finished with 29, so his new career high is 32, guys. Huff. Yep. Or no, he had 29, so it was a miscalculation, I guess, on the app. So, excuse me, he did finish with 29, but still, career high. He had 9 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Just can't praise like Huff enough for his game tonight. Like, I'm always pulling for this guy because he's a 3-point shooter, obviously big. Can do some things off the dribble, can block shots. Like, in today's NBA, that's kind of what you want. And honestly, guys, I mean, I know people are like, I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, oh, can he replace Miles? If he could just stay consistent, he easily could have replaced what Miles brought to this team. I'm not saying he's going to average 17 points a game, but like, he could easily average like 12 and 6 and just provide the shooting and spacing that we need and block shots. But I know we still need a starting center regardless. But I would love Huff as a backup on this team. Like, I think that's his perfect role and where he's really going to thrive and succeed. But it's awesome to see that he can actually put together these kind of games. And then Jarris Walker, 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 1 block. And Tony Bradley, 3 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Great game from Tony Bradley. TJ McConnell, 8 points, 2 rebounds. This one says 9 assists. So maybe, I guess they're always like fixing the stats at the end of the game. So TJ didn't have 10 assists, but he had 9. So I'm sorry about that, guys. It switched up on me. And then Ben Shepherd, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Quentin Jackson in 11 minutes, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Just phenomenal stats, guys. And Huff led the team in plus minus tonight, guys. So gonna give him the biggest props for that. And then Nesmith was a -4, so one of the worst. He was the worst tonight, but still, I'm not gonna knock him too much. He did okay. Nembhard was a +9, Furphy +6, Siakam plus 11, Jarris Walker plus 2. Oh no, excuse me. Tony Bradley actually was a -5. He was the worst. So even though they both made impacts, so whatever. And then TJ McConnell plus 1, Ben Shepherd -1, and then Quentin Jackson a plus 8. And that was the game, guys. Just a really fun game, honestly. And there wasn't a lot of stoppages. I don't know how many fouls were ended up being called. So 22 fouls on us and then 16 on the Pelicans. So really, that seems pretty low. I feel like I don't have the free throw numbers with me right now. It didn't seem like we shot that many free throws, but we did. We shot over, or the Pelicans shot over 20. And we shot less than that for sure, but we still won. It didn't seem like that many free throws were shot. It just seemed like a nice free-flowing game for the most part. So, but all in all, like we got back to like Pacer basketball. Like I said, 38 assists. That second quarter really won it for us, where he outscored the Pelicans by like 9, scored 42 points. Siakam's monster first half. J Huff, career high game, 29 points. Tony Bradley providing a lot off the bench as the backup big tonight. And I guess it was kind of surprising Micah Potter didn't get the nod. He went with Tony Bradley, but maybe he was just thinking matchup-wise. Rick was, I don't know. But all in all, guys, I saw a lot of promising things from everybody in this game. And I do want to like emphasize that I love winning, but I also don't want to jeopardize our draft pick, guys. I'm sure a lot of Pacer Nation's there with me on that. I don't think some of these meaningless wins are gonna really make a difference at some point. I mean, I know like your competitive nature, obviously these guys are always gonna want to win, but I don't know if it's good in the long run. So I do worry about that part a little bit if we start winning too many games. I mean, the worst thing could be like we win too many meaningless games and we end up getting like the 7th through 10th pick. Like that I know like you can jump up into like the top 3 with any odds, but my goodness, guys, like that would be a nightmare scenario. So I'm sure like especially now that we're at like the halfway point and probably after the All-Star break, we'll probably start seeing some guys get rest. I mean, I would be shocked if we didn't. I mean, I'm sure like TJ will get the DNPs, and I'm sure Siakam will at some point once we realize. I mean, even right now, we're not going to be making the playoffs. I mean, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but like just being like objective about it, we're probably not going to make it. So I think it all becomes about development. Like continue to see what Furphy can do. If Matherin's still here, which I really hope he is after the trade deadline, continue to see him develop. Continue to let Nembhard run the show, the point guard, get familiar with that. Continue to let Neesmith grow. Hopefully get some minutes for Cam Jones. I'm still excited to see what he can bring. So I want to see more development from him. Walker and Shepherd, if they're still on the team past the deadline. You know, we just have so many guys that we need to like develop and see what they can be for this future of this franchise. Because we already know that like once Tyrese comes back, we're gonna try to like win a championship. So we need to see who's part of that for the long term. And that's really the mission, I think, the rest of this year, guys. I don't think anyone else will fault me on that. But I've been talking about a lot of trades lately, guys, especially for centers that have been rumored that we've been interested in. I mean, I put one out today about Nicholas Claxton, how we have interest in him. And I did yesterday about Onyeka Okongwu, which really is intriguing to me. And I think to most Pacer Nation it would be. That would be probably my favorite get if I had to choose. But we just made a call, so we don't know if he's available. But go check those out if you haven't heard them yet, Pacer Nation. They're very interesting. And I just talk about how they'll impact our team, if they can impact winning, and in what ways could they benefit our team, and what do they bring to our team stylistically, offensively and defensively. And I always appreciate the like, comments, subscribes on YouTube, guys. It means the world to me. And I love talking Pacer basketball with y'all. Like, this is a fan podcast. I want to build it that way. I want to build it up and make it a community where we all can talk Pacers and just voice our opinions and just bounce them off each other. It's so fun to show that and share that passion with other guys, like other Pacer fans. So really love that. And if you guys could please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, it would mean the world to me as well. But so I think we play again tomorrow, guys. We play the Detroit Pistons on Saturday. So I'll do a post-game recap of that if I can. I may have things that have popped up that I might not be able to, so we'll see. I might not be able to see the game, so it just depends. I'm going to have to see what my schedule's like. But if I don't do a recap tomorrow, it's because I didn't see the game. So maybe I'll try to watch the replay Sunday and then do a recap after that. But I just hope you guys can bear with me on that. Just some big things happening. But I just can't appreciate you guys enough, Pacer Nation. And without you guys, I can't do this. And I just appreciate your guys' support. So we're all in this together, Pacer Nation. So until next time, I will talk to you soon.